They had to write another letter since the president was going to extend the stay in London, and then they thought another procedural one, it didn't look tidy. And then you have this one. So people then think, wait a minute, are there people who are taking this country for granted, not following procedures to ensure that, look, we are men of procedure, we will do things right?
Yes, people have a right to raise those issues. They do have a right to, you cannot continue.
Are they valid issues?
Yes, they are valid issues. They are very valid. A president is supposed to be strict in terms of constitutional procedure and expectation, because every act sets precedent for the future, and then it becomes a reference point. So you cannot continue to make a mistake. If you continue to make it, somebody will say, oh, the president did it before, so why can't it be done before? So there's a need for tidiness in terms of procedural obligation of the government. There's no doubt about it.
Do you think the president should be working from home?
From home? President can work from anywhere. You can even work from the toilet.
Do you think that's, you know, at the level that we are now, that reposes confidence for the people?
There's no problem with that at all. Once the president is equal to the task, he can work from anywhere. Will anybody have raised this issue, for example, against Abraham Lincoln, whether he's working
So
from
is that the
home?
reason why he was in London for that long?
Is that what?
Is that the reason why he was in London for that long?
He was
in London for that long?
Indisposed. And under the law, the Constitution presumes that the president can be indisposed. The only concern of the Constitution is permanent incapacity, not temporary incapacity. Constitution allows him to be temporarily incapacitated. And then it says when you are temporarily incapacitated, you follow the procedure. But when it comes to permanent incapacity, the Constitution sets a completely different procedure, independent of the president, because it is now the problem of Nigeria.
But there are questions about that particular procedure, because you have people who have said, when they had the doctrine of necessity, they found that there was a need to amend the law at that time, which they did. But there are those who have raised another point. Now that this is happening, they think, wait a minute, shouldn't we actually now go back to the law and say, in order to avoid all these arguments in the future, we should have a time limit that the president can be away for? Because they say the civil service rule is categorical and how civil servants can be away from office.
But that will be contrary to, in my view, like I said, it will be contrary to the ontological thinking of the Africa.
How?
In the sense that our interest is not to be beating a sick man. When a man is sick, you worry about health, how he will be well, not how long he is sick. That's what I was saying at Columbia University, the city of Columbia University, the city of New York. And I said that Africa has always enhanced the humanity of the human, while the West has always enhanced the materiality of the material. What Africa needs to do is to materialize its humanity, and the West needs to humanize its materiality to make a better world.
So the civil service rule run against that? If the civil service rule is so specific on that, says you can't be away for, is it 30 or 90 days? So
if a man is sick, I don't think civil service rule says if you are sick, you can't be away.
If you're out of office, there's a limit, a time limit that you can be away for.
30 days, just about
30 days, so they begin to revalidate your service.
If you are out of office, but did they say if you're out of office sick?
If you're away from office.
Well, away from office,
it
can be defined.
It's not. It wasn't defined in that rule.
If it says away, that's what I'm
office.
saying. I can tell you that if it says away from office, it's talking of reckless abandon from office. It cannot be a sensible away from office. If a man is sick, for example, let me give you a simple example. If, for example, you have to go for surgery, you go through a number of procedures, maybe for 2 weeks. You go for operation for another 1 week. Post-operation recovery. I don't think any government anywhere in the world...
Do you think the people of Nigeria have a right to know the ailment that has plagued Mr. President?
They have no such right, but they will know later. Nothing is hidden in the world. But it is not the president that will say that I'm sick. This is the problem I have. While he's away, he's an individual person. He's not a president. While
I don't understand, but he's still a president. While
the president is away, he's a Nigerian citizen, not Nigerian president.
So what about when
the interim? Add interim.
So what about now?
You can't have two presidents.
So what about now?
Where after he communicates his letter
which
to
he
the
has now
National
done,
Assembly, he becomes the president again. For the period he's away, no nation in this Nigeria under our constitution, you can't have two presidents. It is not possible.
But I thought you spoke about the oncology of African...
Yeah, in terms of
where they tell you, even though he was away, you have people who were going to him with documents, still recognizing
because he will still come back to resume.
The same African ontology. So how come, if they were able to do that...
No, they are able to do that because it's expected back. For example, if I'm sick in my house, I'm in the hospital, somebody is managing the house, and they were managing, they come to me so that, hey, they pray for me so that I can
What's
come.
What's wrong with resignation?
Why would he
If
resign?
a man wants to resign.
Resign, that is, under the constitution, that is prerogative, not the prerogative of noisemakers.
We're going to go. We appreciate your comment this morning. Dr. Tunji Abayomi is a legal practitioner and a member of the APC. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
We're back in a moment. Join us again.